Yo, yo, what it do, Net Seas? It's your boy Inno here to deliver y'all with week two. Sorry, week two of the AWOL magazine. That's right, I said AWOL. Somebody mentioned that. Yeah, that's how I call it. I call it the AWOL. So, welcome to the week two AWOL magazine. Couple of announcements. NBL season week two is up, so y'all go peep that. Y'all got a battle. Go sign up. Don't fucking no show. It's really not that hard. It's really not that hard. Other things are going on in NetSeas. We got the book club, Bookseas. We started that up again. So right now the book of the month is Some 40 Tales of the Afterlife, I believe it's called. It's 120 pages, and if you're interested in reading, if you want to contribute more, of yourselves to the website, then there you go. That's another chance for you to get, to get into the activity, So there you go. The discussions is doing something, and the BL is up, AWOL's up, and C's is living. We're living, baby. We're living, goddammit. Oops. But anyway, let's keep it going. All right. Week motherfucking two now. Some announcements for the AWOL. We got your boy Objective, who says he wants to edit the magazines with a couple extra stuff. Like, for example, I'm gonna try to do what he suggested. So if it seems a little weird, just what I'm gonna do is just a little quick intro. Let's say symmetric versus objective. I'll go ahead and I'll go, hey, symmetric versus objective, and then little screen or little graphic is supposed to pop up. I don't know how he's supposed to do it, but pop up objective, symmetric. So it's just a little extra value to the magazine for you guys to enjoy. Also I'm gonna try to go ahead and give my line of the battle or verse of or even verse of the week. I could do that as well in the magazine. So shout out to so I'm gonna do that. Shout out to everybody who showed up. Everybody who voted. It was a good week. We got all the battles got closed. All the battles got voted for. One no-show battle. So, you know what I mean? DMS, Dead Man. Y'all want back in? Holla. I gave y'all a battle. But here we go. All right. First battle. We got Symmetric versus Objective. All right. Now, last week, Symmetric won his battle, I believe, and so did Objective. So we're going up against two people who did their thing last week. So let's get into that battle right now. But give me a quick pause. I'll be right back. Got to get the fuel. All right. So here we go. Battle number one. Verse one. We got. Topic. Okay, both of these writers wrote to the same topic, which is it looks like a city that's just been fucking built on top of itself and on top of itself, and it's surrounded by water. It's just a dystopian type of shit. Almost impoverished. It looks ghetto. It's a ghetto. It's a ghetto in the water. It's got a lot of colors, and there's a dude hanging on a dock. It looks like he's fishing, or he might not be, or he's just hanging there. He's just chilling there looking at the water. But anyway, that's the topic for both of these guys. So, on the way. Here we go. No title for Symmetric, but here we go. I remember days in the blue zone when Too Old never stopped us. Dust off the boots and the old tunes that would make us wonder why we got up. Fingers tapped prints on the flashback like the nice lady talked of. So we played it till we flew from the chains of this cooped home, but truth be told, we never saw love. Pause, then pause done. We'd stay with the neighbors on the first floor because they didn't make us feel sick. Chinese kids and a shot to the head with a needle to the spleen trick. Ni hao, hey. But we were both so lost in the flux of the real shit. Because growing up quicks got a whole lot of stress that we'd never really deal with. A part of me believed that we were clean since we turned 30, because scrubbing off the dirt afterwards was something that we learned early. That, and that we earned mercy. That, we're self aware and there to please. The moans beneath our tears have started scaring me. So we're too old to be spitting up the blood of someone's touch until we barely breathe. Pause. Then pause gun. I've been sitting on the dock, desperately trying to scream. We hope I'm seen. Alright. Alright, so basically what Sim did is just what to me seems like he's describing a day and what this kid is going through in his life. In this shitty fucking hellhole, you know. You kind of get the sense that it's a ghetto, and then, you know, when he talks about, you know, feeling sick and, you know, and being crowded and with all these other different people, you know, it's clear that, you know, that it's a shitty situation, and he's just expressing what he goes through every day. And then at some point, it feels like he's had enough, which is the one thing, you know, I wish you would have elaborated a little more, you know, after the then pause gun. I mean, I like how you did that, but you could have expanded just a little more to make it, you know, more cement, you know, to cement the idea a little bit more, especially towards the end, you know, because then you go on and say, I've been sitting on the dock desperately trying to scream, we hope I'm seen, you know, so you go from then pause gun to I've been, you know, it's a big jump as far as, you know, the scenery goes, for me at least, you know, but otherwise this was dope. I mean, Sim's flowing is outstanding. This dude can his writing is very smooth, and it's not complex at all, but it's woven very, very nicely. I like the way he writes. I wish he would have wrote more this week. I felt like he was churning out a great idea, but I think he just lost steam and decided, you know what, let me cut my losses and just, you know, maybe that's just me. I don't know if you did that or not, but, you know, good job. This verse was dope. It really put together the scenario of the picture for me, you know. So well done. Line of the verse. I would have to say. I guess I would have to say, just for intrigue and just like, oh man, what happened there? It'd be, you know, I've been sitting on the dock desperately trying to scream. That has a whole bunch of imagery that it can go either way, in any direction. So that's very interesting to me. I like that line. I like where you placed it. You know, so that right, you know, right there, perfect. All right, Sim, shots, good verse, bro. Objective, the Norwegian killer. I wonder if this dude speaks actual English when he like votes and writes and stuff. He might not, you know. He might like get into a translator or something and then translate his words. I don't know how Norwegian people talk, but here we go. Sorry if I offended anybody. The same picture. It's called The Walled City. So off rip, you can tell that they're both gonna. It's almost similar type of, you know, scenarios that they're gonna write about. But let's see how Objective takes his narrative. You know, which direction he takes his narrative in. All right, The Walled City. All right. Ever felt lonely and shifty, or phony yet gritty? Perhaps you masked yourself with the essence of Kowloon City. This town's prolific with the presence of the compelling, witty black side of politics. And government control is on hold while selling shitty whack lies to bold critics. But we rose from the ashes and chose to live life till it crashes. No headstone masters or hopeless strong clashes. Nobody's dead, wrong, or homeless among bastards. Just don't mind the hazards. Okay, so that at first couplet kind of gives you an idea of where he's going to take it. You know, it's almost like, okay, you know, we wanted this, it's here, you know, we deal with it. We can make this work. So, from scrapyards and cheap labor, we savored our needs, built trade systems that stayed with us as our oxygen to breathe. Our house fires are common and sanitation is ignored. A cheap price for doing everything on your own accord. Absolute freedom. And the reward is a dynamic society that's pretty dense, but it served a culture of magnificent free-thinking citizens. However, this is where it twists. The nuance is smell, but it's music as well, yet abusive as hell. Because humans can lose it when it's too exclusive for them. Only the stupid condemn a beautiful gem with basis on freedom, and the rich always bitch from the corrupted eye that they see from. The toxic relations evolve to a social threesome with obvious psychosis. That's what happens when you tease the talent of an omnious Moses. The gap between worlds closes as outside forces get embraced and pissed. That also knows the course of how to endorse an iron fist of wars done quick. And that's when things went to shit. Bit by bit, the government felt threatened by us and was constantly on it. Spoke about lack of secure living conditions, but that's mostly for profit. Bulldozers guarded by infantry made sure that buildings went down. Filled with hard-to-grasp feelings past the chance of healing, I run around town. I'm red/black in mind, so I can't handle brown. I'm at the end of the line. I breathe out a sigh of disbelief at the seaside and realize we'll never be fine. As the magnum opus approaches, these roaches swarm us to the brim. Fully clothed, I take a glance at what once was a go for a swim. Okay. So this guy goes through fucking 3 different types of arcs. Like, you know, at first he's cool with it. He's like, yeah, man, fuck it. You know, whatever, man. You know, as long as I'm completely free, I don't give a shit about the shit in the hallway. I'm free. I'm free to take that shit. You know, if I want to go ahead and add to that shit, I'm going to go ahead and add to that shit. But then it starts to get too much. You know, it starts to get too much, and he starts to realize that, holy shit, you know, this is the price of complete freedom. Total anarchy. Isn't anarchy freedom? Freedom is anarchy. Anarchy is freedom, right? I don't know if people say that, but that's what I'm getting from. You know, and in the end, he's just it's almost like he still doesn't get it, and he's almost in denial. Like, no, come on, man. You know, our beautiful place, it's not going to shit. You know, no way. And then, you know, in the last couplet or the last stanza, you know, he comes to that realization, you know, and he sits there in front of the dock and he says, and he looks at the water that once was sanitary, that once was safe to drink, once was safe to bathe in, is no longer that. And so his idea of his city being a magnum opus, which is I like how you use that, you know, it's almost like, oh, this beautiful thing in this shitty fucking, you know, environment is just going to fucking waste. So I thought that was very cool, very, you know, very dope idea to take the picture in. What I didn't like, the laxed, language, you know, like cuz, humans, you know, I guess that's probably the only one you used, but I think there's a couple. But I guess that's kind of your style. You don't really, you know what I mean? Your language is a little more relaxed than most writers on here. You seem to make that work for you. So I don't. Again, let me take that back. I take that back. The language was dope. It was good. Just me being a come binga. But anyway, let's keep it moving. All right. Line of the verse. Here we go. Now this one is a little tongue twister, but I thought the way it read, and once I comprehended, I thought, okay. And as a matter of fact, it's the cuz line. There you go. The nuance is smell, but it's music as well, yet abusive as hell. Because humans can lose it when it's too exclusive for them. I thought that was dope, because even though it's in the middle, damn near in the middle of the verse, you know, it describes what you've already written, and at the same time, it kind of gives hint to what you're gonna write. I don't know if that makes any sense. If y'all are focusing on the stains, it's paint. I usually paint with, you know, oil-based paints, and them shits are hard to get out of your skin. So, but anyway, yeah. So I thought that line was dope as shit. Good job, objective. You always come with the heat, man. Couple of votes. Let me read one of the votes here for you guys. This voter says Sim continues to have one of the most natural flows in the league here. It doesn't read like it's been written for a league verse. It reads like it's meant to be rapped, which I can concur with that. It does read like that. I mean, maybe I didn't read like that, but that's what it sounds like. And that's a huge credit to him. The rhyme placement definitely helps there for the reader, though. It can often get him caught up in the ride and lose some clarity as to what is happening story-wise. That is weaker points, and it needs addressing as it affects even each week without any progress being made to improve it. It holds him back and did again here. So basically what the voter is saying is that Sim, you got a dope flow and, you know, cadence and technically you're sound, but I think you're sacrificing a lot of story for flow. I don't know, or maybe you just don't write as much. I don't know. But that's basically what the voter's saying. On to the objective side, you know, objective, you went more politically charged route this week over the story from last week, and that was a risk. But I think it played off here. Rather than it being strictly about Norwegian politics that could have alienated the readership somehow, it does have a more relatable overall arc to it, and I think overall arc to it that I think took this for you, as well as a noticeable improvement in terms of Multi's rhyme placement and technical skill, which, yeah, I mean, but I think objective is always sound with that. But yeah, objective sometimes goes with topics that a little obscure, or he writes about stuff that's a little more personal to him. But, you know, I think he's the only Norwegian in the league, so that does ring a little true. And in this verse, he did broaden it up a little bit more, and he made it accessible for more readers. You know, he didn't make it so specific to what he knows, you know, which is what I advise most of you to do. You know, open up your writing and don't be too specific, because, you know, some people, they're gonna be like, what is this? You know, just remember the readers. Don't remember the readers, but don't oblige too much to them, because, you know, then that's just stupid. But anyway, all right. So here in this battle, everybody seems to basically say the same thing about this battle, that, you know, Objective showed he put more effort into the story, as well as keeping up with Sim's flow and overall technical, you know, skill. Because I thought Sim did a better job at that, but Objective was he had a little more content as far as the story goes. So the votes are going towards his way. Now, my vote, I honestly liked Sim's verse. I thought his shit was I thought it was dope. I thought it was cool. His story was, the only gripe was that he was, as he was starting to churn out some dope turn of phrases and some dope, you know, imagery, he ended it, at least for me, you know. So maybe that's what the voters are hanging on to, you know. Objective posted a more complete verse than Sim did. But maybe, you know, again, who knows? But that's the way the voters voted, and I think I'm going to go with Objective on this one, just for the simple fact that he kept up with Sim as far as the creativity of the story, and he did just a little bit more. So shout out to Sim, thank you, man. Just keep coming through, man. You're a dope writer, man, and don't be discouraged by this loss. You know, Objective is a good writer, and, you know, whatever. Objective, dope shit. All right, one battle down. Let's go to the next one. All right. We got Mr. J, Mr. Jota, aka the Joker, versus YDK, which I think is You Don't Know. All right, You Don't Know. Mr. J, YDK, two staples of NC. They've been around for a while. YDK's been in a finals. Mr. J is a perennial, you know, playoff contender. You know, I think he's always in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Or at least every time he tries or shows up. But here we go. We got Mr. J, and what he wrote to was a picture of somebody who wrote on the wall of a bathroom. I become mad with floating moments of horrible sanity. All right, should be good. Let's do this. All right. I took a step into the ocean that I now soak in. The silence was broken by waves on my own skin. I stare on, awoken by the sound of focus. Tomorrow extended out into the open where hope is. Excuse me. Or was I roped in? Paranoia circles like an opponent, waiting to grapple me down until I don't know shit. This is reality now. Does it matter if I never noticed? Sometimes it's weird knowing what is known risk. But it's better being the only one to know what the joke is. It's better than leaving it in the open with its context. Does it cause stress or make one want to compete in the contest? It's a weird concept. But some people really want this. So now it's a process that begs to be glorified on script. Calculated data that matches the outcome of all of this. God wrote down the great jobs and marked it with a gold star. You have come so far that this has become a whole job. You no longer coast on the recovery, just a high of post-op. The world goes on. The phone echoes at least once or twice. They don't ask how you are, though. They just want advice. Like, would you like to purchase our new line of vacation? Or some shit like that. That's when I stopped listening to the radio station. All right. So this is dope. This is traditional Mr. J here. You know, very, very, very short-lined, to the point, very abstract, but he always manages to bring it back. You know what I mean? When he shows up and shows up. So I enjoyed this a lot. I like the easy read, the smoothness of it. And maybe I'm completely wrong, but from what I got from the, I stopped listening to the radio station. Somebody said it's about the Joker, and the inside of the Joker's mind or whatever, because you're Mr. J or whatever. But from what I got, it seemed like it was just a fucking radio DJ who was tired of being a radio DJ. And he went through his, everyday life, mundane life, not giving like, I'm done, Line of the verse, but it's better being the only one to know what the joke is. It's better than leaving it in the open with its context. Does it cause stress or make one want to compete in the contest? See, all of that. That's just one line. Those lines right there were fucking incredible. I like those lines, man. He was going there. The imagery, the wording, the pace was just great. Good fucking job there. I enjoyed that little snippet right there. I thought it was probably the best part of the verse. Now I might be interpreting those last two lines wrong, and it might not be about fucking a radio DJ. It might just be about the inner workings of Joker's mind. I don't know. I can't really. You know what I mean? I don't really put a connection to that other than that you're Mr. J, but maybe you did write about that, and maybe it's just going over my head, But I thought the actual rhyming, the story that you told was dope. It went along with the picture. I thought it complemented the picture nicely, Let's see. Let's see. I think the first two lines actually, because it kind of looks like a bathroom that those words are in. So, I took a step into the ocean that I now soak in. The silence was broken by waves of my own skin. Now, is this guy in the process of committing suicide? And, it just so happens that the radio is on, or maybe he's using the radio to kill him, to throw it into the bathtub. I mean, a lot of possibilities there. So this was cool. I enjoyed this very well. Very nicely done, Mr. J. Wish you'd, show every week. But moving on.